Today, we're diving into something that's going to change your love life forever. We're talking about the attraction amplifier, a psychological trick so powerful it'll make your head spin like a roller skater on crack. You're going to learn one of the many mind-blowing mind control tactics, culled from the nectar jar of the hypnosis gods, Shogun method. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to teach you another cheesy pickup line or manipulative tactic. The attraction amplifier is the real fucking deal, backed by solid psychological know-how that you've grown to love and trust with Shogun method. So, let me start by painting a picture for you. Have you ever been in a situation where you thought things were going great with someone you liked, only to have it fizzle out faster than knockoff fireworks from China? Yeah, we've all been there. It's frustrating as fuck, I know. I remember this one time I was at a cafe here in Knightsbridge, chatting up this nicely racked brunette with dimples. We had so much in common. We both dug Britpop, both loved hiking in the hilly Lake District, even had the same weird obsession with collecting vintage postcards. I thought I'd hit the pussy jackpot, but when I asked for her number, she simply said, hell no. Bloody fucking ouch. You know what? It's moments like these that make you question everything. Am I not handsome enough? Did I just grow a belly overnight? Is the wrong shit coming out of my mouth? But here's the thing. It's not your fault. Well, not entirely. The problem isn't that you're not attractive or interesting enough. The problem is that you're missing a crucial ingredient in the recipe of attraction. And that ingredient, my brother Shogun, is sexual tension. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't sexual tension something that just happens naturally? Well, yes and no. Sure. Sometimes there's an instant spark between two people. But more often than not, that spark needs a little help to ignite into a full-blown fire. And that's where the attraction amplifier comes in. It's a little-known Shogun method mind control trick that can multiply sexual tension by 10x in any interaction. Pretty amazing. Before I reveal this game-changer of a technique, let me explain why it's so important. You see, most guys struggle to create and maintain attraction because they're focusing on the wrong things. They think that if they just say the right words, or wear the right clothes, or go to the right places, they'll magically become irresistible. But that's like trying to bake a cake with no sugar. You might have all the other ingredients, but without that crucial element, it's just not going to work. Sexual tension is that sugar. It's what makes the difference between a pleasant, forgettable interaction and a heart-pounding, palm-sweating encounter that leaves both parties craving for more. Without it, you're just another nice guy having a nice conversation. And let's be honest, nice doesn't exactly set any woman's desire on fire. If you're looking for the definitive how to create sexual tension guide on ever written, then this is it. Let's not kid ourselves here. The pain of repeated failure with women can be soul-crushing to a man. It chips away at your self-esteem, makes you doubt yourself, and can even lead to a fear of putting yourself out there at all. I've seen it happen to my friends, and I've experienced it myself way before I founded the Shogun Method Brotherhood. There's nothing worse than feeling like you're always on the outside looking in, watching other people effortlessly connect while you're stuck in perpetual friend zone limbo. But what if I told you there was a way to break free from that cycle? A way to not just create attraction, but to amplify it to levels you never thought possible. That's exactly what the attraction amplifier does. And it's just scratching the surface of what the knowledge arsenal of Shogun Method can do for your masculine attractiveness. Now, I know you're probably skeptical. It sounds too good to be true. Some magical trick that can suddenly make you irresistible. But hear me out. Because unlike those cheesy pickup artist tricks, the attraction amplifier is based on solid mind control that works like gangbusters. Here's the backstory. This technique was found almost by accident by a team of university researchers studying the psychology of sexual attraction. They discovered that there's a specific neural pathway in the brain that, when activated, creates intense feelings of attraction and desire. And the best part is this. This neural pathway can be triggered through a simple, conversational technique. If you want to learn how to create sexual tension with a woman, then this is the closest thing to a shortcut you will ever find. Before I reveal this technique, however, I want you to understand just how powerful it can be. Imagine walking into a room and immediately commanding attention. Imagine being able to create an instant connection with anyone you talk to. Imagine never having to worry about awkward silences or running out of things to say. That's the power of the attraction amplifier. It's like having a secret weapon under your coat, something in your social arsenal you can whip out in an instant. And once you learn how to wield it, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it. It's just one of the many game-changing tools you'll discover in Shogun Method. So, I hope you're ready to learn the secret and revolutionize your dating life. And here's the secret finally revealed to you. The key to the attraction amplifier is a Shogun method concept we Shoguns call as emotional oscillation. Now, I know that sounds like some fancy scientific term, but it's actually pretty simple. Emotional oscillation is the practice of creating a roller coaster of emotions when you interact with a woman. You see, most guys try to keep things consistently positive when they're talking to a woman they're attracted to. They think that if they just keep things light and fun, women will like them. But here's the thing. Our brains aren't wired for constant positivity. We crave variety, contrast, excitement, and that's exactly what emotional oscillation provides. Here's how it works. Instead of trying to keep things consistently positive, you deliberately create ups and downs in the emotional tone of your conversation. You might start with something light and funny, then switch to a more serious or deep topic. You might tease the girl one moment, then give her a genuine compliment the next. This constant shifting of emotional states does two things. First, it keeps a woman engaged and on her toes. She never knows quite what to expect from you, which makes you infinitely more interesting than the average dude who just tries to be nice all the time. And as every woman knows, a nice dude is nice just because he wants to get into her pants. Second, and this is the really cool part, it activates that neural pathway I mentioned earlier. The contrast between different emotional states creates a kind of emotional tension in the brain. And guess what that feels like to the other person? You got it. Attraction. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Don't worry. I've got you covered from the start until the end. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of how to implement the attraction amplifier via emotional oscillation. The first step is to start with something light and fun, maybe a joke or a playful observation about your surroundings. The second step is to follow up by switching to a more serious topic. Ask them about their passions or dreams. If you know about Shogun Method's value elicitation technique, use it here. The third step is to move up one gear and introduce a bit of tension, maybe a gentle tease or a challenging question. Disqualify her. The fourth step is to follow that up with a genuine compliment or a moment of vulnerability. You're now on the positive upswing. And the fifth step is simply to rinse and repeat, always keeping her guessing about what's coming next. The key to emotional oscillation is to keep the shifts natural and fluid. You don't want to come across as erratic or unstable. Think of it more like a dance, where you're leading your partner through different movements and rhythms. And that, my brother Shogun, is the key to sexual tension. Now, let me give you a real-life example of how this works. Remember that Knightsbridge Cafe story I told you earlier? Well, after I crafted the attraction amplifier out of the neural pathways research I read, I gave it another shot. I went back to the same cafe, and as luck would have it, I saw another brunette sitting alone. Don't ask me why, but I've always had a taste for busty brunettes, ever since my brandy days. So, I approached her with my new secret weapon in hand. I started with a light-hearted comment about the ridiculous size of my coffee cup. She laughed, and we started chatting. Then, I shifted gears and asked her what she was passionate about. Her eyes lit up as she told me about her love for painting. Just as she was getting really into it, I gently teased her about how messy painters always are, mimicking paint splatters on my face. She playfully swatted at me, laughing. Then, I switched back to serious mode, telling her how amazing I thought it was that she had such a creative outlet. I even shared a bit about my own, much less impressive, attempts at art. And you know what? I could literally see the attraction building in her eyes. The conversation flowed effortlessly, full of laughter, depth, and yes, sexual tension. By the time I asked for her number, she was practically throwing it at me. Now, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand just how powerful the attraction amplifier can be. It's not just about getting phone numbers or dates. It's about creating real, genuine connections with women. It's about becoming the most interesting, attractive version of your masculine self. But here's the twist. The attraction amplifier isn't just a one-time trick. It's a skill that you can develop and refine with experience. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the more powerful its sexual tension-creating effects. And it's just one of the many mind-bending techniques you'll discover in Shogun Method. And the best part is this. You can use it in any interaction, not just romantic ones. It works in business meetings, social gatherings, even with friends and family. It's a tool for creating engaging, memorable interactions in all areas of your life. So it's not just a way to create sexual tension with women. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is manipulative. This is like tricking women into liking me. And guess what? That's a valid concern. But here's the thing. The attraction amplifier doesn't create fake attraction. It simply amplifies the natural chemistry between two people. If there's no baseline compatibility, no amount of emotional oscillation will create a connection out of thin air. What it does is to help you present the most engaging, interesting version of your masculine self. It helps you create the kind of interactions that women crave, full of excitement, depth, and yes, a little bit of mystery. And that's just scratching the surface of what Shogun Method can do for you. So, there you have it. The attraction amplifier, revealed in all its glory. It's a simple concept, but don't let that simplicity fool you. Like any powerful tool, it takes practice to master. But I promise you, the results are worth it. Imagine never having to worry about attraction again. Imagine being able to create that spark, that elusive sexual tension, that irresistible pull with anyone you choose. That's the power of the attraction amplifier, and it's just one small part of the Shogun Method arsenal you're going to have under your belt. It's going to be awesome. So, what are you waiting for? Get out there and start oscillating those emotions. Who knows? You might just become the most attractive person in any room, and if anyone asks you how you got so irresistible, well, you can just give them a mysterious smile and say nothing about your Shogun Method secrets. Remember, in the game of attraction, it's not about being the loudest or the prettiest or the smartest. It's about creating an emotional experience that people can't resist. And with the attraction amplifier and other Shogun Method techniques, you've got the secret formula right in your pocket. Now go forth and amplify, my brother Shogun. Your supercharged love life awaits. And if you're curious about what else Shogun Method has to offer, well, that's a story for another day. But trust me, it's a rabbit hole you'll want to explore. All right, we're nearing the end of our journey into the world of attraction and sexual chemistry. I hope you found the attraction amplifier technique as mind-blowing as I did when I first discovered it. Recall how I mentioned Shogun Method earlier? Well, there's a reason for that. The attraction amplifier is actually a simplified version of a much more powerful technique called fractionation. It's like the attraction amplifier on steroids, and it's at the core of the Shogun Method system. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're intrigued and you want to learn more. Well, I've got some good news for you. I'm currently offering a free online masterclass that dives deep into these advanced techniques, including fractionation. In this masterclass, you'll discover 3 things. 1. How to use fractionation to create an unbreakable emotional bond with a woman. 2. The secrets of female emotional manipulation that most men will never know. And 3. How to become the most attractive version of yourself by understanding the forbidden secrets about female psychology. Now I want to be clear. Shogun Method and fractionation isn't for everyone. If you're just looking for quick, superficial tricks, this probably isn't for you. But if you're serious about strengthening your masculinity and understanding the deeper psychology of attraction, then this masterclass is an absolute must. To sign up, all you need to do is visit fractionation.org. I'll put the link in the video description for easy access. Just enter your email and you'll get instant access to this game-changing knowledge. Remember, as the cliche goes, knowledge is power, but only when you apply it. So don't just watch this video and forget about it. Take action. Visit fractionation.org and sign up for the masterclass today. Your future self will thank you. So go ahead, take that first step. I'll see you on the other side. Join the Shogun Method online masterclass. Go to fractionation.org or click the link in the video description below.